Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Trust everybody is doing good. I guess I'm live. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Keval. Who is there? Could you kindly acknowledge quickly? I could see some names. Saurabh has joined. Stuti has joined. All right. Good afternoon. Go ahead. Good afternoon. Where were you, Stuti? Yesterday you were not there. Good afternoon, Prashant. Good afternoon. I think Stuti, you didn't join for any lecture yesterday, I guess. If I'm not wrong, I didn't find your name or I missed your name. I'm not sure. Either of this. Oh, okay. You had extra lecture at the college. All right. Yeah, glad. Good. Good. All right. All right. So let's get started. This is nice. All right. Let's get started. So before I get started, let me quickly tell you. So what I'll be talking about is in this particular lecture, I'll be talking about one important thing, the word equal when it comes in the ratios and proportions technically. So I'm not talking about variation. That's another topic. That's another topic for another day. That is variation. That's another beautiful topic technically. So when we do that, we kind of try and see what we talk in variation. That's another big topic in itself. So again, from CAT perspective, I will take a separate lecture on that. But in today's lecture, I'll be talking about hey, the importance of this function called equal when it comes many a times. Most of the questions are built behind the background of this word called equal. And a lot of people, because they do kind of overlook that, they don't understand the importance of it, they take longer time when this keyword comes. It's a keyword. Let's take this as a key function of this word. Most of my lecture will be towards this, and along with this I will also take a couple of other types of cat questions, but this is the most important thing I'll be discussing today, right? As usual, so we will be meeting generally at 2 o'clock on the YouTube platform. So not today, otherwise in most of the other days, 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. we'll also be doing the QA, and 2 p.m. DILR. I hope some of you are following it out there. So this is what we kind of do, but not today. Today is an exception, and you can follow the channel on Cat Ninjas 1.0 just in case you want to figure out the lectures. Use Cat Ninjas 1.0. Although, just quickly about my background, I worked in various capacities with different test prep industries, both in management as well as with respect to the training, and I have developed the expertise to train students in QA, DI, and DLR domains primarily, but fairly well when it comes to verbal as well. But yes, I don't train. Training is different, doing is different. I do verbal, but I don't train on verbal. Training requires different skills. Just like parents, all parents cannot be good teachers. They can teach certain moral sciences, etc., but not necessarily good at teaching some sciences or maths because it requires a different level of expertise. Doing and training are two different things. That is what I understood. Yeah, fair enough. That's quickly about me. And if you would like to follow me or ping me, you can use this, and then you can directly message me or whichever way, so that will I'll be able to counsel you, interface with you. Yeah, quick announcement. So Unacademy offers two kinds of subscriptions. Yeah, Jatin, good afternoon. Yeah, two kinds of subscriptions. One is the plus, the other one is the iconic. Plus is more to do with the structured courses, and iconic is more to do with the personalized mentoring. These are the personalized mentoring. And coming to the subscription fees for 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. These are the subscription fees. And on this subscription fees, you will get 10% discount. So if you use the code Belvi 100, you don't get 100% discount. Don't get carried away by the code 100. You get 10% discount on this. Iconic is little premium. The pricing is, of course, little premium because one-to-one interface, and then trying to understand that okay, what you are good at, your SWOT has to be done, then the suggestions has to be made, your calendar has to be chopped out, many it includes many minor lookouts. So looking at that, it comes with certain premium pricing which would be worth it. Yeah, that's quickly about the announcements. Here we go. So even before you do this problem, don't look at this problem. It's not about it. I am not going to talk about basic of the, or like basic of the question, in the sense, hey, am I trying to do basic, trying to explain you what is the ratio and how the ratio works, etc. No, I'm not interested in that. Neither I want to think that, okay, you guys would not know about it. That is never my idea. Whenever I think I understand that, okay, you also understand it reasonably. We come here to spend some quality time, not to simply waste the time to explain what is ratio, which will be generally done at class 6, right? Class 6 or class 7. That is when class 6, maybe class 5 or class 6. That's when the first time the word ratio gets introduced. I'm not interested in that. Yes, of course, I will be doing a little bit of drills before we get on to the cat type. So drills are important, of course, otherwise we will not get into the lecture. From that perspective, I've taken this question. Let's take a look at this question. Just do it with me. So let's build that momentum. Let's build that warm up. And then let's go in there. Sometimes we all love to write the ratios. So for example, if the same question had been written as a P, Q, R in the ratio 2 is to 3 is to 4, would have loved it. Always there is another tacit one called as total. There may be 3 individuals called 2, 3, 4. The total will be, technically it should be what? Technically it should be 2x, call it 3x and 4x, which will become 9x, right? This total. See, my point is this total. A lot of people somewhere already now they forget that orientation towards the total. Even if, hang on, guys, hang on, don't keep answering. I know I told you it's a drill, right? Drills are very simple, which means even before you go into HIIT workout, right? High intensity interval workout, right? So this kind of training, what they ask you to do? They will ask you to do some stretches. That's what we are trying to do. Just hang on. It's a very simple topic. Listen to what I'm trying to say. That's important there. What people forget is this particular total. Very consciously in the high school, it has been said, even if there are 2 people or 3 people, find this word called total or difference. Sometimes we use the word total. Sometimes we use the word difference based on the context of the problem, right? Context of the problem. Fair enough. So this is what we love to see, 2, 3, 4 kind of numbers. But here, the moment you look at this particular question, you realize, hey, they are in the form of the fractions. So we all know from high school that if they're in the fractions, you take the LCM of the denominators. Now you say that P, Q, R in the ratio of 1 by 2, 1, 2 by 3, and 3 by 4. That's a ratio. You take a look at the LCM of the denominators. That is nothing but 2, 3, and 4, which becomes 12. The LCM of the denominators would become 12. And you say that ratio does not change if I multiply all the numbers by 12, which means each ratio, if I multiply it by 12, my ratio does not change. 2, 6 times. Therefore, for P, you write it as 6. This is 3, 4 times, therefore you write it as 8. This is 4, 3 times, therefore 3 into 3, you write it as 9. Of course, there is something called as the total. You write the total, 6 plus 8 plus 9. So which would become 23. That is the total. Author is trying to tell that 23 corresponds to, therefore author is trying to say 23 corresponds to 6,900. 6,900. Therefore, R. What is the value of R? 9. 9 corresponds to how much? Simple. 23 corresponds to 6,900. Therefore, 9 corresponds to how much? 23 3 times. Therefore, 300 into 9, which becomes 2,700. Very, very simple. All right, no rocket science in this. Pretty simple proposition. We all kind of know. What is that I spoke about? 3 things. Call it quickly. 2 things. One is the total or the difference. Have attention to this. There might be only 3 values here, but quickly have this in your mind. There is something called hidden called as total, or it can also be called as a difference based on the context of the problem. Number 2 that you got to remember is, okay, LCM comes handy. So if I want to beautify the ratios, I don't want to keep them as it is, just take the LCM. Let's keep that in mind. All right. Now let's slowly get into the portion of today's lecture. The word equal. Just read this question. Read this question. Very simple question. I will start highlighting the importance of the word. All right, I will start highlighting the importance of the word equal here as we go along. Okay, yeah. So now here is the word equal. Hey, what are equal, right? What is equal? 4 parts into all it. Now this is divided into 4 parts. For example, let us call it as A, B, C, D, right? Let's call those 4 parts as A, B, C, D for the time being, which are the 4 parts. 7,500 has been split into 4 parts, right? 7,500 has been split into 4 parts. This part split into 4 parts. Listen to me. What is the approach, quick approach to resolve these things? Half of the first part. Okay, so you are writing something like this, that is half of A. Let's say first part is called A. 1/3 of the second part, you write it as 1/3 of B, which is also equal to 1/4 of the third part, let me call it as C, and 1/6 of the fourth part, let me call it as D. Now listen to me very, very carefully. Let us say that they all be equal to 1. You may say in the schools you would have learnt it all be equal to K. That is how you have learnt. I say that I don't call it as K. Well, there is no problem calling it as 1. Let us call this as 1. Let us simply call this as 1. So that should help us. Let's call it as 1. If this is 1, what you are trying to say is half of A is equal to 1, which means A is nothing but 2. A is nothing but 2. 1 by 2 into 2 becomes 1. Similarly, now look at this. You are also trying to say that 1/3 of B is equal to 1. Therefore, the value of B is nothing but 3. 1/4 of C is also nothing but 1. Therefore, the value of C is nothing but 4. 1/6 of D is also nothing but 1. Therefore, the value of D is equal to 6. Simply put, this is the ratio. A lot of people, after reading this question, they fail to understand this point. Their teachers would have said that take this as K. No need to take it as K. Take it as 1 and write those ratios in the reverse order. Which ratios to write in the reverse order? If you have 1 by 2, when you want the value of A, write it as 2 by 1. If you have 1 by 3, when you want the value of B, write it as 3 by 1. If you have 1 by 4, when you want to write the value of C, write it as 4 by 1, nothing but 4 itself. When you want to write the value of D, which is 1 by 6 of D, you want to write it as D, write it as 6 by 1, which becomes 6. Of course, there is something called as the total. So therefore, you add them up, 6 plus for all these particular numbers, which will become 15. Author is saying that 15 corresponds to 7,500. That corresponds to 7,500. He's saying that find the second part. Second part corresponds to 3. Therefore, 3 corresponds to how much? Simple question. So therefore, 15 corresponds to 7,500. Therefore, 3 corresponds to how much? Right? 2500. Right? So 3 5 times, then 5 15 times. Sorry. 5 15 times 1500, which is the very, very simple question. Okay. My point is I wanted you to understand this particular premise, which is very, very important. A lot of people fail to understand this and hence they simply take more time. It is same. This word equal is very important. If you get the word equal, all you've got to do is equate it to 1 in your mind. You don't have to write it. Equate it to 1 in your mind and start reversing these particular ratios. Start reversing those ratios. This will become the ratio of A, B, C, D. Can I get a confirmation that you kind of understood what I'm trying to say? The importance of the word equal. First instance of importance of word equal. Did you understand how to quickly represent that data in ratios? Quick. Put that in the chat. Hang on, Cable. Allow me to do it. We are into the first 10 minutes of the lecture. Hold your horses. You know me, right? You've been following me. You know me. I will not do some foofa and leave it out there. I will take it from one end of the spectrum to the other end of the spectrum. That's my teaching style from the beginning. Right? I've learned it. It is not that I just make somebody happy and leave it there. No, the idea is to somebody crack the exam. Right? I know that by doing this, will I be able to crack the exam? Definitely not. Definitely not. Not an exam like CAT, maybe exam like SNAP. Right? Yeah, I'm pretty much aware of that. Yeah, good. Let's come in here. Let's take a look at this. 7,300 students of a college are divided into 4 houses. So you will have red house, yellow house, green house, orange house, right? Something like that, right? So we have these kind of houses which are there, right? 4 houses such that half of the first, 2/3 of the second, 3/4 of the third, 4/5 of the fourth house are all comprised of the same. The word is same. Call it same number of students. They all comprise of same number of students. That word is important. They all comprise of same number of students. How many students are there in the third house? Basically, already in the schools that you studied or the colleges that you studied, you will have different kinds of houses there. Red house, yellow house, orange house, or Minon house, right? So whatever, Daryl house, right? So if you're studied in convent, they will have some names like that. Okay, all of that. So that's what he means, that you want to take a color, you can take it. So let us call the 4 houses, let us call the houses as A, B, C, D again. So the 7,300 students are divided into 3 houses, the 4 houses called A, B, C, and D. Put together 7,300. All these houses put together, the total should be 7,300. What is he saying? Half of the first house, which means you are writing half of A, is also equal to 2/3 of the second house. The second house is nothing but B, which is also equal to 3/4 of the third house, which is equal to C. 4/5 of the fourth house, which is nothing but 4/5 of D. They all will be equal to 1. Doesn't matter. All right, they all will be equal to 1. Now look at this. A, therefore, A is equal to 2 by 1. You write them in the reverse order. See how it will be 1 here. All right, how you can make this 1? If it is 1 by 2, multiply this by 2 by 1. Result will be equal to 1. Similarly, so when you are writing for B, write it as 3 by 2. 2/3 is here. You multiply this by 3 by 2, outcome will be equal to 1. Simply put that ratio in the reverse order. That's a simple trick I'm trying to tell you. Right, what is the value of C? C would be in the form 4 by 3. What would be the value of D? Which would be in the form 5 by 4. Now again, these are not very pleasing numbers because already we said that we got some denominators. We generally don't like them. Take LCM. That's why I started with the drill saying that, hey, ratios sometimes might look awkward. No need to be getting hassled about it. We don't have to get hassled about it. Take the LCM of the denominators, which is 12, multiplied throughout by that particular number called 12. Multiply throughout by 12. You get beautiful ratios. You will say that therefore this is 24. This becomes 18. 6 3 times. So yeah, already yeah. 6 3 times 18. Then this becomes 16. Already then that becomes 15. Right? You get these numbers. A, B, C, D would technically will be in this particular ratio. Let's add up these numbers. Let's get on to the total of these particular numbers, which is 73. And hence you are saying that 73 corresponds to 7,300 students. The third house, how many people are there in the third house? 16 kids are there. Therefore, 16 corresponds to how much? It is more a mental math. Therefore, which is nothing but 1,600 students. Now, did you understand, Keval? This is what you are asking. Clear about it, buddy? Understood? They need not be equal. Why the numerator should be 1? I also agree with you. I know that. They need not be equal. Why should they be equal? It can be anything, randomization. Okay, is everybody following? Is everybody following this? You understood the power of same or the power of equal? The word equal, same, identical, when it comes in the ratios, how to go about it. Are you getting this? Are you getting this? Sarthak, Keval, Stuti, who else is there in the meeting? Getting this, friends? Are you able to get this, what I'm trying to say? Good, Chitransh, nice. All right. Great. All right. So now comes your question. Yeah. Why don't you answer this question? Answer this question here. Okay. I'll give 1.5 minutes. Quickly answer this. Good. Okay. So I got responses from Sarthak, Keval, Mayuk, Prashant, Kanchi. I'm hoping that all of you have kept the book and pen ready because this was not a difficult one. Okay, in fact, this was one of the CAT questions, simplest CAT question. I changed some numbers. That's it. All right, I changed some numbers. Otherwise, this was one of the simple. Yeah, CAT does ask some of the simple questions, no doubt about it. That's the reason we are discussing this concept. Again, the word is equal, divided into 4 parts. Okay, such that twice the second part, twice the first part. Let's say that the parts are A, B, C, D. As we said before, parts are A, B, C, D. Guys, is the board clearly visible? Is the board clearly visible? Quickly give me the confirmation that the board is clearly visible. I mean, the interface is clear. Interface is clear. Interface is clear. The interface on which you are watching, the interface is clear. It's appearing clear to you. Quick, quick, quick. Interface is clear. Say yes, no. Yeah. Good, good, good. All right. Yeah. Let's take a look at this. Fantastic. Okay. Interface is clear, right? Okay. So let's say that. Find the value of the third part. That's what he's asking. The word is equal. Let the four parts be two. Let first one. Twice the first part, that is 2a, is also equal to thrice the second part, 2b, thrice the second part, 3b, which is also equal to 4 times the third part, 4c, which is also equal to 6 times the fourth part. All right, that is nothing but 6 times of d. They are all equal. Therefore, how does the value of a look like? 1 by 2. 1 by 2. Why? Because this is 2 by 1. This is 3 by 1. This is 4 by 1. This is 6 by 1. They're all equal to 1. Therefore, what I should be doing? I should be writing it reverse to start with. Therefore, A looks like, all right, now, therefore, the value of A looks like 1 by 2, because 2 into 1 by 2 will be equal to 1. B would be 1 by 3. C would be 1 by 4. Right? D would be 1 by 6. Again, the LCM of all these denominators, the LCM of all these folks is nothing but 12. Multiply throughout by 12, multiply throughout this particular ratio, each element of this ratio by 12. It would now become 6 is to 4 is to 3 is to 2, right? So therefore, we will have a tacit one in our mind, which is nothing but 12, which is total is 15. 15 corresponds to 7,500. He is saying that why don't you tell the third part? Third part is 3. 3 corresponds to how much? 15 corresponds to 7,500. Therefore, 3 corresponds to how much, right? So therefore, 500 into 3, which should become 1,500. I hope by now you would have understood this. Now I will shift the gear slowly. Let us shift the gear from here. We kind of started understanding that equal means what. All right, the word equal stands for what. How these questions can be simply done much in a much lesser time. The moment I notice the keyword equal, that's a point I'm trying to say. A lot of people ignore this keyword equal. You find in a lot of CAT questions, ZAT questions, whichever the papers that you do, it can be SNAP, whatever is that. Yeah, I'm not saying that in every question you will get this, but this is one of the important keywords, one of the important, right? About 20 to 30% of the questions is built around this, and being ignorant about this does not make sense. That's a point number one. Okay, coming to the second one. Coming to the second point here. There's a CAT question. Let me teach you through the CAT question itself very directly. Now, second one is focus on, again, equal. There is a word equal here. I will add another adjective to this. All right, of course, there is a word equal here. Equal. Listen to me. All of you carefully listen to me. Equal. The idea is what? Get the approach where the speed increases. You will do it with little faster and better. Equal but unchanging. There is something which is equal here. What is it here? There is an unchanging component. That's a word here. The unchanging component. In some questions, you find a changing component and you find an unchanging component. Unchanging component is always equal. If you equate it, unchanging parts are equal means what? Unchanging component equal means equate them. If you equate it, you will get your answer. That's my whole idea there. Let's try and see this. Let me explain this question. The next CAT question, you take it and you try and solve. Fresh grapes contain 90% water by weight, while the dried grapes contain maybe raisins, dry grapes. But CAT question, they use the word dry grapes itself. Therefore, I also use the other word for this would be raisins. Raisins contain 20% water by weight. What is the weight of dry grapes available from 20 kg of fresh grapes? That's the whole idea there. Fair enough. Let me come to this fresh versus dry. Listen to me, all of you once here. Fresh versus dry. Okay, what are the two components? One, there is a water component. The second one, there is a pulp component. That's a point there. Each one of them has what? It has two components. There is a water component and there is a pulp component. What does not change? What changes is water. What does not change is the pulp. Pulp does not change. Be it the raisin or be it the fresh grape, what does not change is the pulp component does not change here. So pulp is equal. For example, let us say that I have F kgs of fresh grapes, which after process becomes D kgs of dry grapes. All right, F kgs of fresh grapes I started with. After getting it through some process in the industry, it becomes D kgs of dry grapes. Okay, what is the amount of water content in the fresh grapes? 90%. If 90% is a fresh component, the remaining 10% was the pulp. Remaining 10% was the pulp. Coming to the second part. Okay, what is the amount of water in the dry grapes? 20%. Which means in the dry grapes, if 20% is water, remaining 80% of the dry grapes is pulp. Remember this. Hey, what is this 90%? 90% of F. What is this? 10% of F. Because you had a fresh grapes in the beginning. When you wrote 90%, percentage is abstract. What do you mean by 90%? 90% of F. 10% of F. All right, the first line. Second line. 20% of dry grapes, because when you're writing 20%, this stands for what? 20% is abstract. You have to complete the thought. 20% of dry grapes, 80% of dry grapes. Now listen to me. When it goes through a process, water is what might get evaporated. Dry pulp means what? Pulp, it burns, it becomes ashes. There is nothing called ashes there. So therefore, what you are trying to say, this is constant. 10% of F was the pulp. The pulp did not change after it went through some industrial process. It did not change. Therefore, you equate them. Therefore, these two parts are equal. After reading this question, that is what I get here. 10% of F is also equal to 80% of T. What is this? Pulp is equal. That is the unchanging part. Equate the unchanging part. That is the point I'm trying to make. What you got to do? All you got to do is equate the unchanging part, which is the pulp here. 10% of F is equal to 80% of D. Nothing but F is equal to 8 times of D. This is what author was trying to tell us. Fair enough. Then how much of F was there? 20 kg of fresh grapes is there. He's saying that substitute 20 here. 20 is equal to 8 times of D. What is the output? Therefore, D is equal to 20 divided by 8, which is nothing but 2.5 kgs. In the sense, you start with 20 kgs, you end up with 2.5 kgs. This is the CAT question as it is. You may wonder, sir, to do this question, should I write this? No, this is an explanation. Simple. By now, already, once you read these these are all sitters. We call them as sitters in CAT. Most easiest question that come in the CAT. People want to glorify this, calling it as a difficult question. No, because ratio itself is an easy chapter, right? Yeah, variations is tricky. When I talk about variations, I will talk about that. Variations can get literally tricky when it comes to CAT. Ratio proportion can never get tricky. It's such a simplest subject. Whenever the questions come ratios, we generally call them as sitters. Solid sitters come from ratios. But then, so knowing certain things will help us to unlock the sitters even more faster. That's a point I'm trying to make. Coming to this, let's understand this. Should I draw this particular chart? Of course not. Once you understand that in these, there are questions in which there will be unchanging part, I have to equate the unchanging part. Once you understand that business, you look at this, you read this question, you understand there is a water in it, there is a pulp in it, fresh grapes. Let me give a F as the mnemonic here, right? 90% is water means 10% is fresh. You would have directly written it here. 20% is water means 80% is nothing but, 80% is nothing but pulp. You would have directly written this equation and you would have closed it. This is what you would have ended up writing. Okay, are you all getting this point, what I'm trying to say, my friends? Okay, are you all getting this point, what I'm trying to say? Who is this? Edilma something. Who's this there? Can I know the name? Who's this? Edilma. Is it okay to let your name? If you can let me know your name, it would be good. Yeah, I appreciate some of you already use a lot of fancy names or exciting names when you log in. Yeah, but then as an educator or as a mentor, I would always love to know a little bit of your names. So I don't know, what is this Edilma? I don't know. So what's your name? Can you put your name? Yeah, Edil Mange more cannot be your name, right? Yeah, anyways, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Hmm. Fair enough. All right. Good. Good. Glad to have you here. Glad to have you here. Let's go on. Let's go on. Let's try this. Hmm. Let's try this. Yeah, but answer to your question is yes. Hmm. Okay. Your question, friends. 90 seconds. Close this. Your question. This is your question. Start doing this. Quickly. Beautiful cat question. Very similar to the previous one, what we did. Good, good. I could see responses from Kanchi, Jatin, Keval, Chitransh, Mayuk. Okay, great. Time's up. All right, all right. Yeah, Stuti, are you there in the meeting? Are you not able to answer any questions? What's happening? Right? So I didn't hear any response from you on the answer side. I'm expecting that everybody would answer simple questions because ratios is really a simple chapter. Okay, good enough. So let us discuss the way that we were talking about. So what we were talking about, let's do exactly that. So okay, 200 kg, that is the quantity of watermelon. So watermelon again has what? Water component, and the other one is a pulp component. 99% water, focus on the pulp. Therefore, how much is the pulp? 1% is the pulp. 1% is the pulp in what? 1% is the pulp in fresh watermelon. Let me take it as from fresh watermelon, the pulp component is 1%. All right, then he already now put it in under the sun, therefore it was a hot sunny day, all that story. So water component has become 98%. 98% water means what? In the finished goods. All right, in the after exposure, the water pulp component has become 2% of after exposed goods, right? There is a fresh goods and there is an exposed goods. You exposed it, after exposing it, now the pulp component has become 2% of the exposed watermelons. Fair enough. So they will be equal because what is that I'm talking about here? This is the pulp component. This is the pulp component. So water gets evaporated, pulp, nothing would happen. Therefore, immediately after reading this question, what you will understand? 1% of fresh, this is the pulp. You are equating the pulp component. So 1% of pulp in fresh watermelon is equal to 2% of the pulp in the exposed watermelon. So therefore, F is equal to 2 times of E. Let F is equal to 2 times of E. This is all author wanted to tell you. Say what is the how much of fresh watermelon the person started with? 200. 200 is equal to 2 times of E. Therefore, E is equal to 100. Very, very simple question. All right, once they understand that, hey, there is a equal, although there is no word equal, we understand that I can equate the unchanging part. Anybody understands it? One reading of this particular question, reading takes time. After that, resolving hardly takes any time. Making sense? Is this clear? Is this clear? Everyone clear? All good? All good. I hope this is clear. I'll go to the next slide. Clear? Yeah, most of you gave the right answer, but still one or two of you have given me some wrong answer there. Therefore, I'm asking that question. Right? I'm expecting 100% right answers because simple topic, not really challenging, just the approach, right? Just the approach. Okay, Stuti, all right. No worries. Okay, fine, good. So only Keval has put a thumbs up. Others are fine. Why don't you respond, guys? Can you respond? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Keval, then you have to improve your reading speed. Okay. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to understand the question. What you've got to do is then already you will also have problem in because the entire CAT paper, please remember it's in English, right? Your English comprehension skill should be good. That comes by intense reading of 30 to 60 minutes every day. Intense, one sitting. One sitting, simply read anything that challenges you. Please remember, if something does not challenge you, it will not change you, right? So don't try to read something which is easy. Don't try to solve the things which are easy. Focus either on approaches, whatever it is. Every time you try to do something, just ensure that there is a bit of challenge. It need not be overwhelming challenge. There has to be a little bit of challenge in what you read. Only then some change will happen. Otherwise, the change does not happen. That's another problem there, right? So therefore, we always advise you to read good material, read the good topics, good articles, good journals. Reason being, the kind of challenge, the writers are so good that the way they present it, the kind of challenges our mind. All right, that's the whole thing there. So do that intense reading, all of you, those whoever is here already, all of you, this advice keeps holds good. Everyday reading of 30 to 60 minutes will definitely help because when you are on the top B school campus, because I live very beside to IIM Bangalore, right? A lot of my students also study in Bangalore. So I know that, okay, technically already you may have to read about 100 to 200 pages every day. For some people, this is a challenge. They don't sleep only. First 1, 2, 3 trimesters, They don't know what is happening with their lives because they don't know how to read 100, 200, 300 pages per day. Right? Minimum 100 pages per day you should read. Even if you are on the campus of NMIMS, how the rigor is different. Just to give an idea to you, if you are on the campus of NMIMS, probably you may have to read 30 to 40 pages per day. That's a difference. That's a difference in the placement, because you are in a college where the rigor is about reading 100 to 200 pages in a day. Two, you go to NMIMS Mumbai, so you'll be reading about 30 to 40 pages, which means 40% of what these guys does. 30 to 40%. That's a change in the rigor in the program, right? Because the rigor is different at different B schools. Point is, how do I get in there? Don't learn after going there. Before that, only you will learn. You get into the intense reading of 30 to 60 minutes. How much you understand doesn't matter. Get into such intense reading, it is going to help. It is very, very important. Turn off your mobile, put them aside, do this portion, and then do whatever, because the whole CAT paper is in English. Your comprehension will be better. In one reading, you will understand, you know which numbers to revisit after you read. All such skills you learn, provided now you do a regular reading every day. It's an exercise. Just like we have to do regularly some physical exercise, similarly, we should do regularly some reading. As simple as this. All right, if you ask me, it should be simply as good as this. Okay, I hope all of you got the point what I'm trying to say. You got the point, Keval? That's a simple suggestion how to improve it. That's it. In 1 month's time, you will find tremendous improvement in your comprehension skills. No worries. It's a very simple trick. But a lot of people, it's a very painful activity, because people know that we have to do exercise, but they don't do, right? Similarly, people know that they have to read 30 minutes every day, but they don't do. Start now. Start now. It's as simple as that. Start now. No rocket science. Okay, this was an IAS question, right? This came in IAS. In the IAS interview also, people asked this particular question. Came in CAT as well, in every single exam that you can think of, right? Yeah, the extension of this also has come, so we will speak about this classic question. The extension of this also had come some time back. Let's take a look at this and let's try and work with this particular question. So if you want, I will give a reflection time. I will give. You can mark your answer. Beautiful question. Yeah, you can mark your answer. You can put it in the chat. Just a reflection time. You read it, you understand, put it in the chat. Yeah. Okay. So now this is built on the premise of, listen carefully, this is built on the premise of you give the money based on, now what has been contributed, right? So that is what it is. Contribution to distribution, right? That's the whole idea there. The whole idea of this particular question is what has been contributed. Listen to me. So it is not all, it is nothing but contribution. So distribution is directly proportional to contribution. What you distribute is proportional to what has been contributed. What has been distributed is proportional to what has been contributed. That's the whole idea there. It's not about a distribution is nothing but what has been possessed. Distribute is not directly proportional to what has been possessed, right? Possession, it is nothing to do with the possession. It is about what has been contributed. Based on that, it's going to be distributed. Let's understand what is this contribution, distribution, possession. I will explain this. Let me explain this. Now see, so they had together 5 cakes, something like this. There is a person P, there is a person Q, and there is a person R. P has 3 cakes, Q has 2 cakes, right? R has rupees 50. R has rupees 50. This is what they have at this point in time. Okay, yeah, and then they eat equally. That is the point there, which means they took, now let me write the piece cake to explain. Let me draw the diagram. Just to explain it to you, let me draw the diagram. Say these cakes belong to P. There are 3 cakes which belong to P, and there are 2 cakes which belong to Q. Let's say that these are the 2 cakes which belong to Q. Each cake they cut into three pieces, three equal pieces. Why? Because they decided to eat equally. Therefore, they put all the cakes into three pieces. They took a knife. They said that, hey, five cakes, how to eat equally. So therefore, they said that let's take each cake and divide it into three pieces. They took each cake and divided them into three pieces. Now this is what they have. So out of which, now let me say that P has to, how many pieces now? 15 pieces. 15 pieces. How 15 pieces? Because there are five cakes. There are five cakes. Each cake has been cut into three pieces. Therefore, now you have 15 pieces in total. Totally, there are 15 pieces. How many pieces each person should eat? P should eat five pieces. Q should eat five pieces, and R also should eat five pieces. Let's say that P eats this second piece, third piece, fourth piece, and fifth piece. This is what P has consumed. Fair enough. So therefore, all it now Q also eats his own share. Q eats his five pieces. One, two, three, four, and five. Q eats five of his pieces. Fair enough. What goes to R? Therefore, now this has been given to R. Second piece given to R, third piece given to R, fourth piece given to R, and fifth piece given to R. Now, if you see that, hey, there were 15 pieces totally. All right. Out of 15 pieces, R got five pieces. R got five pieces. Out of these five pieces, how many P gave and how many Q gave? P gave four pieces. Q gave only one piece. This is the only piece Q gave. Rest of the four pieces are given by P. Therefore, if R has 50 rupees with him, how much he should give to P and how much he should give to Q? Simple. It should be given. The amount should be distributed in the ratio of contribution. He will see how much P contributed to me, how much Q contributed to me. Based on that contribution, I will give. Fair enough. Therefore, P he gives. He gives 10 rupees. 10 is the actual answer. Did you understand the logic? How to do it, I will come to it. I cannot take a cake and keep cutting and doing all that stuff. That's not the idea, right? I can't take a cake and keep cutting, doing, shutting, not that. But I explained it. Explanation is clear. Explanation is clear. Q has only two cakes. Keval, you are saying that why not Q give four pieces? Q has only two cakes. So these are the cakes of Q. You divided each cake into three pieces. There are six pieces, out of which Q eats five pieces for himself, because everybody is to eat five pieces. Everybody should consume five pieces. Therefore, Q consumes his five pieces. He says that I have one piece left. Take it. That's what he does. Read the question. P has three cakes. All right, P has three cakes. Each cake has been made into three pieces. All right, therefore P has nine pieces. So Q has two cakes. Each cake is cut into three pieces. Right, therefore he will have six pieces. All right. Yeah, because everybody has to eat equally. First you eat and then contribute. No, right? Yeah, for to be alert, for to exhibit alert. For example, you want to transfer your energy to something. First you be energetic. Otherwise, what energy will transfer to others? Similarly, if the happiness has to radiate, first let's be happy within, then the happiness radiates outside. Right? If the knowledge has to be transferred, first let me be knowledgeable and then let me transfer the knowledge. That's the same thing. First you eat and then distribute. That is what you mean by eating equally. Keval, made sense? Good. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. Don't try to be too generous that you don't eat and you start giving to others. Right? That's an extreme case of generosity. We are not talking about this. We are talking the question. Yeah. Now coming to this. All right. Now let's go to this. Right. Now let's go to this. And let's see therefore how this has to be handled in that case. All right, now this already, because I cannot take the cake and keep cutting it and doing all that stuff. Okay, therefore how this question could have been worked out. All right, what is the way to work out this particular question? We clearly understood that distribution is a function of contribution. Distribution is a function of contribution. That is the keyword. If you want me to understand, distribution is a contribution of keyword. Today's theme is what? Equal. Again, they ate equally. So look, I am keeping one thing common throughout. That theme is nothing but equal. Already equal. Right from the beginning of the class till now, the theme has been equal. How CAT has capitalized this theme called equal throughout, and then how the speed can be built, the momentum can be built if we understand that particular keyword. That is what we are trying to illustrate. Yeah, coming back to this. Now listen to me. All right, listen to me. Let's try this out. Let's try this out. So what is the better approach to do this particular question? Let's understand this. Let's understand this. Now, yeah, let me present this. So there is a P, Q, R. P has three cakes. Q has, this is what they possess. This is what they possess. And this is, he has 2 cakes, R has 50 rupees. The word is equally. They all ate these pieces equally. The word is equally. Now the point is, what did they consume there? What did they consume? Similarly, they had 5 cakes. There are 3 cakes and 2 cakes together, 5 cakes. 5 cakes divided by 3. Therefore, each person should eat 5 by 3 cakes. Out of 3 cakes, each person should eat 5 by 3 cakes. That is each person share. Why? Together they have 5 cakes. They decided to eat, the word is equally. If they decided to eat equally, I have to divide this by 3. Therefore, 5C by 3. Each one of them should eat 5 by 3. Okay. So this guy eats 5 by 3. This guy consumes 5 by 3 of the available cakes. This guy also consumes 5 by 3 of the available cakes. Second part. Okay. Therefore, what has been contributed? What has been contributed? Fine. Contributed is what he had and what he consumed. That is 3 minus 5 by 3. That is what has been contributed. If 3 cakes were there, so he consumed 5 by 3 by himself. Think from P's perspective, my friend. P has 3 cakes, out of which he consumed 5 by 3. Therefore, what has been contributed? 3 minus 5 by 3 has been contributed. If you simplify this, this would become 4 by 3. All right, this would become 4 by 3. Fair enough? Similarly, coming to the story of Q, Q had 2 cakes. He first, all right, now, so he consumed 5 by 3 by himself. Therefore, what is contributed? Remaining 2 minus 5 by 3. So if you write this, this will become 1 by 3. This is the ratio of contribution, because the other fellow cannot say that contributed. He will contribute 50 rupees for this effort, right? Okay. The ratio is 4 by 3 is to 1 by 3. 3, 3 cancel. Therefore, you say that for every 4 pieces contributed by P, Q would be contributing 1 rupee. That is the ratio of contributions of P and Q. Now R says that, look, I have 50 rupees. So how do I give this? 50 will be distributed in the ratio of 4 is to 1. Therefore, 40 rupees, 10 rupees. This is the structure of thinking. What is the structure of thinking? Take stock of what has been they possessed. Then I'll let now look at what has been consumed. Look at what has been contributed. Now the distribution is a function of contribution. Is my point clear? Is my point clear how to work this out? You don't draw the circles and keep dividing that cake. That is not the way. That's not the way. This is what you kind of do. Point clear, everyone? Point clear? Good. All right. There are some people who joined in between. Lush has joined. Abhay has joined. It's a very different name, Lush. Very rare name. I have not heard somebody's name being Lush. Okay. Understood. Quickly. Why don't you respond? You understood. Those who were following from the beginning of the question. Those who didn't follow from the beginning already, you can go back and listen. But at least those who followed from the beginning can put that, okay, you kind of understood what I'm trying to say. Good, very good. Nice, Chitransh, nice. Good, man, good. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So quick announcements, then we will go to the next topic out here. The quick announcement. So today, again, I'll be doing a 6 p.m. another lecture that is on the cat ninjas here. So we do one of the must know cat types. So on the cat ninjas, we've already done about 9 to 10 lectures of the must know logic. And there's another one that we'll be doing on the special class right on this particular platform. So if you would like to be a part of it, just press the bell icon and keep the notification ready so that you don't miss the class. Again, at 8, we'll do one of the important topics from the cat perspective, that is removal and replacement. Very, very important concept. We will also look from the cat perspective, what is the importance of that. That's what we do. All right, that's at 8 p.m. That's at 8 p.m. That's what we do. So at the end of the lecture, all right, if you like, I'll let know the content, what we are following, the approaches, what we are following. Ensure that you kind of like it, share the link with others as well. Let them also come and view them. But don't forget to like it and do the hats or whatever it is. I don't know, because I received some hats the other day. I was wondering, all right, now, so what these hats meant for, but it appeared nice and encouraging there. Fair enough, all right, that's about this. So whenever you are doing some activity on the platform, use the code Belvi100 so to create that proposition. Here we go with another concept of equal. Just to check that how we can do this faster. Again, the first concept of LCM comes in the picture. Do this question alongside me. The proportion of milk and water in 2 samples is this and this. Very simple. A mixture is made by taking equal, again the word is equal quantities. The mixture is made by taking equal quantities of both the samples. All right, equal quantities of both the samples. quantity, right? Yeah, the proportion of milk and water in the mixture formed will be how much? So representation, let me write it like this. There is a milk, there is a water, there is a type 1, there is a solution 1, and there is a solution 2. There is a type 1 and there is a type 2. Milk is how much? 5. There is a 1. Write the total here. Write the total. Total is 5 plus 1, which becomes 6. I'm just representing the thought. Second one, milk is 4. The water is 5. The total becomes 9. The total becomes 9. Again, look at the total. The total should be equal. Who said total is equal? Author only said it's made by taking equal quantities of both. But you are seeing that, hey, there is a 6 here, there is a 9 here. They are not equal. Correct. I agree. They are not equal. If they are not equal, why don't we make them equal? So how do we make this equal? LCM. Take the LCM of these numbers. Take the LCM of what? 6 and 9. Take the LCM of 6 and 9, all of which would become 18. How do we make it 18? Multiplication factor. Go here, multiply this by 3, it becomes 18. Multiply this by 2, it becomes 18. Try to make both the numbers 18. Now it is equal. So which means if you are multiplying that by 3, multiply this 5 also by 3, multiply this 1 also by 3. Here, multiply this by 2 and multiply this by 2. Once you identify this 3 and 2, multiply all the numbers by this. Then go to the milk proposition, go to the milk side, add them. This is how much? 15. This is how much? 6. 15 plus 6, which is 21. The milk component has become 21. Similarly, the water component, this is 3 and 5 2 times 10, right? Now, therefore, 10 plus 3, which would become 13. All right, which would become 13. Therefore, now you are saying that 21 is to 13 is what we are kind of talking about, right? 21 is to 13, all it would become the required answer. Did you understand this? Logic is clear. When the word equal proportion comes, you understood this? Clear there? Yeah, 15 plus 8, right? Okay, this is 15 plus 8, 23. Thank you. Thank you, Jatin. Yeah, 23 is to 13. That's right. 23 is to 13. Okay, the approach is clear to you, how to take the LCM and make it equal. This equal is a very powerful word which keeps coming in the exam. This equal is a very powerful word which keeps coming in the exam. This is how you kind of deal with this particular thing. Okay, now here comes a cat question. Here comes the question. Yeah, okay, why don't you take about 90 seconds to answer this question? Very good. So smart. You guys are following it pretty good. Yeah, take a look at this approach now. Look at the approach of this question quickly. Yeah. Try this very simple question. Try this. Hmm. Go ahead. Good, good. I got only 2 responses. Others. Sit with pen and paper, guys. Only then you'll be able to do. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. Okay. Good. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. I got some answers. Nice. Okay. Yeah. The proportion of milk and water in 3 samples is this. So let's say that there is a sample 1, there is a sample 2, there is a sample 3. Right? Yeah, there are 3 samples. There is a sample 1, sample 2, and sample 3. Just a second here. Hmm. Yeah. Okay, there is a sample 1, sample 2, and sample 3. There is a milk and water. Milk, water, of course, there is a total. Okay. Milk is 2 portions, water is 1 portion, total is 3 portion. Add them up. There is always a total, right? Yeah, 5 portion, 1 portion, 6 portion. 1 portion, 3 portion, 4 portion. LCM of the totals. Take the LCM of 3, 6, and 12, which becomes 12. LCM of the given numbers, LCM of the totals. Take for the totals. The LCM of the totals has become 12. All right. So therefore, so now you come back and make every number 12. Every total you make it 12. How do I make it 12? Multiplication factor into 4 times, into 2 times, and into 3 times. So then make all numbers into 4 times. This is into 4. This would be into 4. This would be into 2. This also would be into 2. And this is into 3. And this is into 3. So when you want the milk proposition, add up these numbers. This is 8. This is 10, 18. 18 plus 3, 21. 21 on one hand. On the other hand, use these numbers. So this is 4 plus 2, 6, 6 plus 9, which becomes 15. Take the ratio of these particular numbers, which would become 7:5. Very, very simple. If you know the right approach, it doesn't create any pressure while you are solving the question. You very easily navigate. You don't have to deal with unnecessary fractions, etc., etc. So you don't have to write in such a meticulous manner all these numbers. That's fine. It hardly takes any time. But this is what you mean by this. Okay. So whenever the word, all right, I'm talking about the importance. Now you may say that, say, sir, what is this 10 liter doing? Nothing. 10 liter is trying to say that equal. This 10 liter is trying to say that equal. So 10 liter is nothing to do in this particular question. A mixture is made by taking 10 liters of each sample. For me, equal quantities of each sample. It is nothing to do with, so some numbers are dummy, just so they are there to intimidate us, to kill our time. It is nothing to do with the 10 numbers is a dummy number. In some of my lectures, I told you this. Hey, there are some numbers which will not make too much sense to us. Okay, are you all getting this point? The importance of equal, those who were there right from the beginning, are you able to catch up with what I'm trying to say? Yes, no? Are you able to catch up with what I'm trying to tell here? Everybody, approach. Are you getting the approach when the word is equal in ratios? Yeah, cable not required. That is what I'm saying. That's important. Sometimes there would be certain dummies cable, right? There would be certain dummies. 10 is nothing, doing nothing out here, right? Nothing out here, nothing out here. That's how they con us in the exam. That's what precisely they will do. Okay, good, good. All right. All right. If you're getting this, fantastic. Here comes a cat question. Let's try this, my friends. Beautiful cat question on this concept. So 90 seconds. Beautiful cat question. Go ahead. I really want you guys to nail this down. Okay. Nice. All right. Yeah, here we go. Good. All right, here we go. Three men are gambling in a casino royal, some place there. They start with the sums of money in the ratio 7:6:5 and finish with the sum of the money this in the same order as before. All right, so three men. If one of them won $12, how many dollars did he start with? I don't know. Cat for some reason instead of rupees, they put dollars that particular year. All right, not only in this question, in many questions they will use the dollar. For some reason they use dollar. Either they use rupee or sometimes they use the dollar. In this question, the cat as it is. This question is as it is from the cat. So they use the word called as dollar. So what has happened here? The money is only changing hands. If you see this, they start with sums of money, this, and they finish with sums of money, this, the same order. The three men gamble among each other only. There is no external person here. They were playing among themselves, which means what? Money only changed hands. It only changed the hands. So how you write this? So let's say three men, let me call them as X, Y, Z. There is X, there is Y, and there is Z. Say that these are the three characters. All right, X, Y, Z are the three people. Fair enough. So therefore, now we are trying to create a dummy here. Let's say that, okay, he brought in 7. So here it is 6 and here it is 5. And what was the total therefore? Just like we used to do before. Total is 7 plus 6 plus 5, which is 18. All right. So case 1, this is the case 1. This is what they started with. This is what they started with. What is the end? How did they end this with? They ended with 6, 5, 4. He has 6, he has 5, he has 4. Therefore, the total is 15. But the point is, hey, this 18 and 15 are equal, man. What they started with and what they ended with are two equal numbers, right? Or they are two equal numbers. You may say that, sir, I'm used to writing this X, Y, the other people. If you're getting confused, you generally write this X, Y, all those kind of numbers. I'm not writing them. That's it. I'm not writing them, saying that the numbers are good enough to speak loud and clear for us. That's my whole point there. I don't have to write that particular X. Fair enough. So I have to make these two equal, 18 and 15. What I do, I take the LCM of the given numbers. I'll let LCM of 18 and 15. This 18, LCM of what? 18, 15, which becomes 90. Right, yeah, which becomes 90. Fair enough. So therefore, I need to multiply this by how much? 6 times. I need to multiply this by how much? 5 times. Right, one number by 5 times, one number by 6 times. Right, therefore that becomes equal. So now have they brought the equal money there? Of course, yes. So therefore, you multiply this by 5. You multiply this by 5. You multiply this by 5, and you multiply this by 6. You multiply this by 6. You multiply this by 6. Now look at this here. 5 in 6 into 5 is 30. 5 into 6 is 30, which means Y did not gain anything in this particular transaction. Y did not gain anything in this particular transaction. Fair enough. Now look at this. 5 into 5, 15. All right, 5 into 5 is 25. 4 into 6 is 24. He lost 1 rupee in the transaction. If you say that my dummy number is 90, he lost 1 rupee in the transaction. That somebody would have gained if he has gained, lost it. Now look at this. 7 into 5 is 35. 6 into 6 is 36. He gained 1 rupee in the transaction. One fellow, no loss, no gain. One fellow lost 1 rupee, which became a gain for some other person. That is all the game he is talking about. But author is saying that, hey, I am not saying that somebody gained 1 rupee. Author is very clear, loud and clear. He's saying that somebody gained $12. Okay, therefore, this plus 1 should be multiplied by 12. If plus 1 should be multiplied by 12, scaling factor, if you have a picture, I want to make it 12x. The entire picture will become 12x. If you just want to make the ear, eye look like a 12x. Not only eye, the nose also becomes 12x, the mouth also becomes 12x. That is the whole thing there, which means this entire chart, whatever this entire chart has to be multiplied by 12. That is it, because this 1 should become 12. So which means the whole thing has to be stretched. That is what you mean by proportion. The whole thing should be stretched by 12 times. Let us stretch it by 12 times. If I stretch it by 12 times, he's saying that, what is the question? How many dollars did he start with? Which means the person who won $12, how many dollars he started with? For us, it is 35. 7 into 5, 35. But the answer is not 35. The answer is 35 into 12, because the scaling factor is 12 times. Therefore, the answer becomes 35 into 12 times. That is what we are looking at, right? So therefore, all right, now, so this becomes 420. So now you say that 420 is what that person started with. Is this making sense, my friends? Everybody clear? Everybody clear? Everybody clear with this? Did it make sense to all of you? What we are trying to say, the scaling factor. The word equal, again, there was no direct word equal there, but we know that what they started with and what they ended with should be equal, because money is only changing hands. Money is only changing hands. Okay, very good. All right, so this was the communication. I wanted to speak about the importance of equal, right? So what is that we are trying to communicate is the importance of the equal when you are looking at the ratios chapter. You look at the ratios chapter, there is an importance attached to equal, and try to illustrate through some cat question, right? So which is nothing but equal. Kushagra, what do you mean by can we use LCM? LCM for what? I used LCM only, right? LCM on the total. LCM should be used only on the total, not wherever we like. LCM should be used only on the total. Kushagra, I think you were there from the beginning, but you were distracted in between. From the beginning, we did this. The previous two questions, when you look on this, so look, all it, we took the LCM on what? The total, these numbers, right? We took the LCM on what? These numbers, right? So concept remains same. Concept remains same. Just that the moment it comes to the cat, they present it in such a way that all it looks beautiful. The presentation is always beautiful from cat. The non-cat questions, the presentation may not be beautiful. This is the concept question. So I just made it very simple there, right? Good. Okay. So you might have got the points. Yeah, Rahul, ask the question. What's the question? Ask. Go ahead, ask your question. Is this a level one question? Okay, your answer question is this a level one? For me, it is level one. For me, it is level one. See, this effort, if you call it as level two, I don't know what we should say. For me, it is level one. Again, it is subjective. Again, it is subjective. For some people, already they put it as level two. For me, it is level one. These are all must-do questions in CAT. Something like this comes, all right, I'll be more than happy to answer this. Anybody should be more than happy. Anybody prepared on this. See, again, the levels, the difficulty levels is more subjective. You want to glorify the difficulty level, call it as, hey, it's a very difficult question, guys. You are glorifying it in your mind. I never want to glorify the wrong things in the mind. Difficulty levels, I will always keep it down. Keep it down means I'll say that it is not difficult. The moment you say difficult, it simply glorifies the thought in your mind and it genuinely becomes difficult for us. It is always about what we say. Affirmations are very important. Therefore, I will not unnecessarily glorify the things. If it is genuinely difficult, we admit it is genuinely difficult and lengthy, right? Otherwise, not. Let's not glorify the wrong things. Because it's the same mind which is reading. You keep reading saying that it is difficult, difficult, difficult. It becomes difficult. That's a pain there. Simple questions, it will become difficult. That's my view. I will never glorify the things. I will say that they are simple. That's a reality. Most of them are simple. No rocket science there. Okay, great. All right. So that brings to almost the end of the concepts that I wanted to discuss. So join me at 2 p.m. or join me at 6 p.m. The 2 p.m. comes so naturally to me because of taking YouTube lectures. Join me at 6 p.m. For the lecture on the DI classics. And at 8 p.m. it is on removals and replacements. All right, join me out there. Keval, no, I will not be joining. I will be doing it as a concept wise. This is done. Equal is one theme that I took it. I finished it. Proportions, I will take it. I will finish it. There are beautiful concepts. There is no continuation to it. Right? Equal was the concept that I picked it. I finished it. Finished it. That's it. So there may be a lot more cat questions based on this, but you will be able to do. Right? I did that this much. You will be able to do rest of them. Okay. Yeah. Good. So these are some of the plus batches which are going to be launched today. So one for Cat 21, something for Cat 22, something for MHCET, and some of the fantastic educators are taking them. From the next month, even I would be taking out there. So just look out, watch out for this. So here we go. So that's the thing. So CAT Iconic one-to-one live mentorship program is available. So some of the mentors will sit with you and they discuss the things with you. And some of the CAT 20 passed out students, they will also sit with you, understand your SWOT, give the study plan, share their study plans, things like that. That's what happens in the Iconic discussion. And if you're looking at especially CAT 22 prep or CAT 23 prep, this limited edition offer can make some sense to you. 15 months of subscription, 27 months of subscription, that is 3 months free. So if it's for CAT 22 or CAT 23, this makes a lot of sense out there. Right, yeah, big surprise. That's nothing but if you're looking at Mega Combat Fest is going on August 29th. If you have not taken this particular test, maybe this is the time you can take this particular test this Sunday. There are a lot of now, a lot of freebies on offer. Campus ambassador. So if you are looking at the if you are still in the college campus and you would like to be a campus ambassador, enroll for this. And then definitely you will have some incentives in store and you have certification from the Unacademy. And definitely along with that, a lot of good goodies and gadgets that are at store. So here we go. That brings to the end of my lecture. So I will see you at 6 p.m. in the evening today. Bye till then. Stay blessed. Keep working hard. Yeah. Yeah, if you have not done the program, please go back and then refer to this audio again, which you can do, again. Then the class note will come after this. Yeah, here I end the class.